I would say one of the main differences of working in the writer's room as opposed to working alone as an artist is the ability to collaborate and share stories and bounce off each other. There's no real kind of first genesis for any production. It literally just depends on what's brought into the room. It could be a piece of music, it could be a piece of poetry, it could be someone's weird hungover in the morning nightmare.
After the first idea has been said, we just have to talk it through. It's kind of like ironing out the creases. Like, we'll have an initial idea, and then whoever kind of feels passionate about it or latches onto it will obviously have a thought that takes you somewhere.
So when you've got different voices on a story, it means that you're kind of not stuck in your own head with your own upbringing and your own culture and your own experiences kind of informing you.
Being an artist, I just find it that I'm very curious about other people. I'm curious about other worlds. I think that I'm really excited as part of Stockroom to tell certain stories together, which I would never dream of telling by myself.
We also get approached by different venues who have specific things that they might want. Again, that might be a specific idea that they want us to write around or a story that they want us to tell. So there's a number of ways that ideas get brought to the room.
I think that's the beauty of Stockroom, that the seedlings are plays could come from anywhere or anything. So it's just really dependent on what's inspired someone.
I think the way a spark becomes an idea is that you're in an environment where everyone goes, yes, okay, how can that work? What if we did this? What if we involved multimedia? What if we did it verbatim? And, people who are enthusiastic about taking your idea and making it a thing.
It's quite a mixed bag, really. Like, a lot of the stuff that we've worked on so far has been brought to us externally, but we always try to find that nugget of truth or authenticity that kind of draws us to the story. And it's always quite interesting, the conversations that come up, because there's 6 of us in this room, we're all very different.
We always kind of use the phrase yes and, so we'll say an idea and then we'll all kind of pick it apart and go at it from our different angles and work out the best thing for the story.
In terms of deciding this is what we're going forward with, this is the script that we're working with, it all comes down to just a number of things, do the character arcs feel complete? Do we feel like we've done what we want with the story? Does the story feel satisfying?
I think research is just one of those things you have to do as a writer. I think we're researching all the time as writers, we're observing. If something happens, one often finds one looking at the situation for what it tells one about the person who it's happened to, or how that event is actually happening.
One of the things that we always kind of need to come back to is, how human is this story? Does it talk about class in a way that is important for our kind of our ambitions and our desire to kind of tell these stories?
I think once you've got all of the elements in the story that need to be there, and it all sort of flows in an interesting way, and you get to the end and you're like, okay, that feels like a completed, all the right elements are in there to make the story what it is, then you can technically say it's finished, but I don't know if it ever really is.